Hey folks, good evening. Today we are creating few more objects for hospital management system. Previously we just created the patient's object and today we are creating all these objects and I'll show you how to create the tabs for the object. So I'm just moving it now. I'm just clicking the setup object and build under create. Just click on objects and create new custom object here. Here you need to give the label name as, now we are creating the doctor object. So I'm just giving label as a doctor. And here we need to give the plural label. So I'm just giving doctors. Here I'm giving the data type as a auto number and I'm changing from doctor name to doctor ID. We need to give a display format as like this. So starting number should be the 1. And here I'm just allowing all these optional features, allow reports, allow activities, track field history, allow in charter groups, these things. And I'm allowing the search status also. Here I'm just clicking on add nodes and attachments related list to default page layout. And now here, yesterday I told you that if we need to create the tab for the object, so we need to check mark this. But now I'm not checking mark this. I'll show you the another way how to create a new custom tab for the object. I'm clicking on save and new. Now we just came to again the same page. So I'm creating a few more objects. We just created patients and doctors object. Now I'm creating the bills object. Bill. Here I'm giving the plural label bills. Here I'm giving the record name data type as a text only, or I'll give the data type as a auto number. I'm just converting it to bill ID. Display format should be the same. It should be starting with the number 1. I'm clicking on allow reports, allow activities, track field history, allow search, allow in charted groups. Here I'm clicking the search status also. Here I'm adding the nodes and attachments related list to default page layout. If we need to create the tab, custom tab for this custom object, so for that we need to check mark this, but I'm not checking mark this because I'll show you how to create a new custom tab in another way. I'm just clicking on save and new. Now I'm creating one more object. It is lab. Here I'm giving the plural name, labs. Here I'm giving the data type as a text only. So I'm leaving the record name as this. An optional features I'm giving the allow reports, allow activities, track field history, allow in charter groups. So here I'm clicking the allow search and I'm clicking the add nodes and attachment related list to default page layout. Here I'm not check mark the new custom tab. I'll create a new custom tab in another way. I'm just checking saving a new, clicking on new. I'm creating one more object which is canteen. canteen. Here I'm giving the plural name canteens. Here I'm giving the data type as a text only. I'm checking mark all these things. Save and new. And at last, I'm creating the pharmacy object. Pharmacy. Here I'm giving the plural label. Pharmacies. I'm giving the data type as a text only. I'm just allowing all these things. I'm clicking on save. Okay, now we can able to see only the patient object. Whatever we created the object, it's not visible. So for that, so how I will do change the settings for tab hidden to default on? I'll show you. So go to profile under manage users. You'll have the profile. So I'll tell you all these things future, not now. I'm just clicking mark it. So search for system administrator. System administrator only have the access for editing all these things. So here the custom object layout, sorry, tab right. Here is the tab setting. These are the standard tab settings. So we just need a custom because we created it, no? Yes, okay. We did not create the tab. So I just need to show you how to create the tab first. Just forget. Go to tabs. Under user interface, you'll have the tabs button. So create custom object tabs. Actually, in tabs, we have different tabs. One is custom object tab, web tabs, visual force tabs, lightning component tabs. So I need to tell you what is tab. Tab is nothing but reference button of the object. Objects. Actually, tab is a user interface to create records for objects and to view the records in objects. So this is the reference button for the objects. And we have different types of tabs as of now. I showed you. Custom object tab, web tabs, visual force tabs, lightning web component tabs. So lightning component tabs. So we just need to be create the custom object tabs. So I'm just creating for doctor object. We can choose anything, any style. I'm just clicking on next. So here I just need to show you it's a very important. I'll tell you the difference between default on, default off, tab hidden. If we will choose the default on means by default on means it will be visible here. So I'll show you. Here our object will be visible. So if we will choose the default off, it will set in all tabs. Uh, like here in all tabs. This is the all tabs. Here it will be visible. So if we will choose the tab hidden, it will not display here and in all tabs also. So for this object, I'm just giving the default off. I'm clicking on next. Here we need to uncheck mark the include tab because we just created the tab for the particular application. This is our application hospital management system. So I'm just checking mark this and saving it. So we need to create few more tabs for these objects. The same thing. Bills. You can choose anything, any style. If you want to create your own style means you can create here. So as of now, I'm just choosing this one. For bill, I'm giving the tab hidden. I'm just clicking on next. Uncheck mark this include tab. Uncheck mark for the hospital management system. Save it. So now I'm creating the tab for canteen. Choose any style and click on next. And I'm choosing this by default on only. It will be visible for all the profiles. If I just need to select for particular profile means, so for this you need to choose apply a different tab visibility for each profile. If you need to be give the access for for each profile a different tab visibility means you can choose the apply a different tab visibility for each profile. If you want to give the access for identity user, if you want to give, if you want they don't want to see means you need to give the tab hidden. If you want to change for standard user default of means you can give it. So as of now I'm just giving the default on only. I'm clicking on next. Uncheck mark the include tab. Uncheck mark the hospital management system. Save it. Again I'm creating a new tab for the lab. You can give anything whatever you want. Clicking on next. Uncheck mark the include tab. Uncheck mark the hospital management system. I'm saving it. Again I'm creating the tab for the last object which is pharmacy. Giving the tab style. Anything whatever you want you can give. I'm just clicking on next. By default I'm giving the default on only. Next. Uncheck mark the include tab. Uncheck mark the hospital management system. Save it. So now we created the tabs for the all these objects. So we'll see, we'll check. So here I'm just refreshing it. So here we can able to see the few objects tabs only. Few objects only. That is patients, canteen, lab, pharmacy. But we created the doctor object and bill object. But here we can't able to see that because we gave the tab hidden on default hub.